बाय द वे तुम लोगों ने कभी सामान पिया है क्या?
हाँ,
सामान, yes.
गुड,
Bro,
इट्स गुड.
इससे बेटर सामान
but-
इधर नहीं है दुनिया में. बेस्ट
Okay.
अगर गला
Cheers.
खांसी बुखार कुछ भी है तो ऑलवेज सामान. ये
And it
श्रीलंकन है
doesn't. But do you know also where you get it? Samahan.
on Amazon.
No, like you know
Mobile
where else
chemist
you've tasted it. If when you went to Suko Thai, at the end they gave you that fruit platter with that drink. That is Samahan.
That's very specific बाबा.
Yeah.
Yeah.
मेरे को
but
सुको था में नहीं दिया ये
Oddly.
सब.
Oddly.
नहीं दिया
specific.
क्या?
मेरे को दूसरा कुछ ग्रीन टी दिया.
अच्छा, oh.
Anyway, I think
Anywho.
people need to get used to the fact that हम लोग अभी भी तीन ही है. Because I keep getting messages. Hey, when y'all going to stop this whole thing with Aadar? Let me tell you guys, we are not, because it is a fact. Aadar is super busy after winning CPL and God knows what. His offers are just never ending. So he's taken a
And I
sabbatical
just
from the
also
podcast.
we should tell people that हम लोग ने नहीं निकाला उसको.
Yeah.
मतलब that's,
we are not
that's
the villains
debatable.
here.
That's debatable. We may have pushed him out in some, by encouraging him. हाँ ले वो कर.
We are not the villains here, just like earlier. You know.
Good.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
anyway.
साले कुत्ते लोग तुम लोग. You guys changed the bloody password and I don't get to sign into my own Zoom account right now. I don't know how you guys changed my password of my Zoom account.
एक मिनट first explain that what are you doing at your married friend's house at 12 o'clock at night
On a Sunday.
on a Sunday.
There is no way to prove that it is 12. Okay, there is a clock right behind.
There is a reason I keep this right there.
हाँ तो क्या कर रहे हैं आदर? अपना निकाल दिया तेरे को घर से. अभी तो हुआ तेरे को अभी निकाल
Shit.
मैं अभी यहाँ पे आया. Kautuk and I are working on something special. after
Your marriage.
CPL.
ये सही है.
Too soon.
कौतुक बाबा से रेंट कर रहा है.
Baba's OCD is so messed up right now. Baba's OCD is so messed up.
Yeah, Baba's like, oh fuck, there are 3 frames, 4 people. What is happening? Why are we doing
Baba needs ice cream to calm himself down right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to copy the Kautuk frame and place it in an edit so it just runs as a 4th frame.
Dude, like, you know something, I was going to do like, oh, Aadar, tu mere ghar pe? And then I realized, itna -50 for overacting hoga wo.
I wanted to do a walk by, like it's just like wear Sidhi's clothes. And just walk
एक मिनट वॉक बाय तक ठीक था तो सिद्धि के कपड़े क्यों पहन रहा है?
क्योंकि पब्लिक देखा, अरे ये अलग क्या है?
अरे सिद्धि कैमियो अलग लगे.
और सिद्धि के पास दाढ़ी
कभी है.
It's the lockdown, man.
आदर एक काम करेगा, कौतुक के कंप्यूटर में जाके मेरे को रेंट भेज भाई.
अबे आदर खुद कौतुक से सबलेट कर रहा है.
This is I'm subletting just this couch that is here.
Out of our 1 BHK, the toilet is Aadar's. So
I'm
it's working out.
paying 1/5 the rent for that one couch.
क्यों बेगम भी रेंट पे करती है क्या? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Internet Set. So, a show we take conversation with the facts, factory, one opposite stories, and we talk about it. And today's episode is on, oh shit, I'm out of habit. I come up with one topic, but we don't have one topic. We have multiple, as you may have figured out by now.
Yeah.
As soon as Aadar and Kautuk stop giving the mic a hand job, इसके ऊपर ना ऐसे porn hub लिख देने का.
But we've tested it. We've done a test. I don't understand why you guys are
अरे
pretending.
मैं वो डांस कर रहा था रैंडम इंटरेस्टिंग.
He hit the mic.
उसमें माइक को लग
So
गया.
the mic flew in one direction. And then, you
तो
know,
आदर
this is
तुझे
so
कैसे लग रहा है
weird.
नया फॉर्मेट?
I'm loving the new format. It's so much fun.
हाँ तो तू
सच बता आदर, तूने देखा?
Yes, I saw. It was lagging a lot in Ladakh, and it was very tough.
हाँ तो तू
Name
किया
one
क्या
story.
2 हफ्ते से?
एक मिनट, नेम वन स्टोरी नहीं, हम लोग कितना किया है अब तक?
हाँ 2
नया फॉर्मेट में 2 ने किया है. पहले वाले का टॉपिक का नाम क्या है?
Aliens.
Ah,
Aliens,
shit.
chutney and
वो वीरदास का
dehydrated
बैंड है.
fruits.
वो वीरदास का बैंड है, एलियन चटनी.
कितना कम ऑक्सीजन मिला तुझे लद्दाख में? तुझे एपिसोड का टॉपिक ही कुछ अलग दिख रहा है. एलियन चटनी दिख रहा है तुझे. हाँ तो कहाँ था आदर तू?
I was outside the city. I went to Ladakh for a while.
Dude, you live outside the city.
I live outside the city, so I went a little further out. I went.
You just took a ride from Dombivli and you were in Ladakh.
Just ऐसे गेट के बाहर निकला था like wait Ladakh. I had
Can I
trouble
just say,
breathing when I left my gate.
Bombay, Delhi, Leh is a 4-hour flight including the halt. Okay.
Yeah.
Varun took 4 hours 20 minutes to get from his house to Dombivli.
That's true.
Andheri, Kautuk's house, Aadar's house. 4 घंटा.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah, but
I think
Kautuk's
metro
house
आधा
is
बन गया पवे में.
probably-
जब तक मैं पहुंचा
Kautuk's house is probably the reason why you got delayed because you
Arey,
took
he
the
would have
worst
taken
route
he would have
possible.
taken that road
Which is
anyway,
actually
na?
Neville's house. So Neville गलती
No.
तेरी है साले.
हाँ, so you go for BKC. BKC is the better route.
Yeah, which is what Neville took, I think.
Yeah.
That's what Neville took. Fuck, he almost reached before us, huh? After leaving.
अबे
3
पहले वो
hours
था
after
भी
us.
बैंड्रा में ना अपन अंधेरी में थे.
Yes.
Anyway,
The Neville is eating ice cream and we are not. चल, screw that.
good.
So,
हाँ. तो बताइए
man,
कौतुक.
Acha, many things. Many things. But I will start with this particular story. Okay. So, Aadar, I don't know if you know, but the format is. It's never gonna get over.
आधा रुका है कि अभी टॉपिक मालूम पड़ेगा क्या है.
हाँ, क्या है कुछ तो
Okay.
एक टॉपिक सेलेक्ट करो. हाँ.
No, so format is that now we come with different things. Okay.
Basically, Aadar,
We come
it is
with
the
things.
call. It is the call that we have before we start the
Before-
episode.
Before
Normally,
we start the podcast, okay.
You know, it's like we've not spoken to him at all.
Yeah.
yeah, really.
But
but,
we
it's
haven't.
also true. We haven't.
We haven't-
The only time I heard
Okay.
Aadar was
The only time I've
आके phone
seen
करता
anything
हूँ.
about Aadar was on CPL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, congrats. हो जाए एक other OP in chat.
हाँ, Aadar,
हाँ.
congrats. कितना
So-
पैसा दिया तूने लेकिन जो उधर थे जजेस उनको?
Judges.
अरे टी-शर्ट उतारा और कितना पैसा देगा?
हाँ. what-
Hey, bro, fuck, can I tell you?
Nipple currency. हाँ.
So the last podcast we had premiered it. Okay.
हाँ.
So when the premiere का thing came up, one guy was like, "Oh, मजा आएगा क्योंकि इसमें other CPL stories बताएगा."
हाँ.
And the first comment after that, because you weren't there, so the
हाँ.
first comment to that guy's comment was, "तेरा तो कट गया यार."
हाँ तो कुछ है क्या अदर स्टोरीज
हाँ,
CPL स्टोरीज है
CPL.
क्या कुछ?
अदर उसके लिए एक स्टोरी तो बनता है एंड
हाँ.
आई थिंक द स्टोरी यू शुड टेल देम इज द स्टोरी अबाउट द शर्टलेस स्टैंड अप व्हाट इज द
Oh,
स्टोरी
yeah.
you got to tell that story.
So we were doing a bunch of test shows. So we were all isolated in the hotel room for about 3 weeks, and कोई choice नहीं था. We didn't get a chance to actually perform the material as much as we would have liked. And the closer you get to shooting it, you want to do as many shows. So we did some shows in Pune, we did some shows in Delhi and stuff like that. बाद में उसके बाद hotel room में अटक गए हम लोग. So we kept doing Discord shows. And I think हम लोग समय के Discord server पे ही करते जा रहे थे. And we used to take 30 people at a time and we used to do 3 shows a night. So we used to do like a 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock. तो 9 o'clock के शो तक मैं थक गया था and one show I just like I suggested कि ऐसी शर्ट उतार के कर लेता हूँ मैं. And these guys were like हाँ. And 9 o'clock I said ठीक है चल like it's just a Zoom show so I'll do it. I took the shirt off and the reaction was like now we have to do it. And that's what happened. And then I got forced to go to the gym for the next 3 weeks.
Other, it's not called Discord, it's called OnlyFans.
Only
Yeah, so I spoke to him. He's like, dude, मैं कपड़े उतार रहा हूँ. I'm like, सही है. पर and then he's telling me कि you didn't have water and stuff, no? For like what was
No,
your
not. My
like,
son
Bro,
was
this is
salt.
the same thing Shahrukh did
Same
during
thing.
वो दर्दे
Om
डिस्को वाला है ना.
अरे fuck
Om
that.
Shanti
तो
Om.
This
उससे
is the
अबे
same thing Aadar did when he was like मेरे को फोटो शूट करने का है तो कुछ 10
Oh,
दिन
yeah.
तक डब्बा खोलता था तो
But this was
कैबेज
like
में
20
बिना नमक का कैबेज का आता था वो ग्रीन रूम
अबे इसका रॉ चिकन आता था ना अदर का.
Raw chicken.
raw chicken. It was boiled
Raw
chicken.
chicken.
The chicken was
on the
alive.
way
salt.
मार के
Yeah.
अदर
without salt.
Just fresh mal.
But what all do you have to do to be that? Like,
No, it wasn't that trip, na. So that's why
तू
na I
पानी नहीं
did.
पिया था. You were about
हाँ.
to faint and shit.
No, I wasn't about to faint, but I
और ये सब करने के बाद वो ओवर टाइम गया. Negative.
I
But
went
that
3
is-
seconds
But that
overtime.
is Aadar,
I went
no.
3
But that is
seconds
Aadar.
overtime.
Why you guys?
This is.
But he
this is
also
a
didn't
Varun
account
Aadar
for laughs,
problem.
huh? But
Yeah.
he didn't account for laughs also.
We didn't account for laughs, and I was, if you really
That's a
like,
good way to
think about
practice
it.
it. नहीं कोई भी नहीं
हाँ,
हंसेगा
because-
तुम्हें फटाफट 4 मिनट में करके
That's
निकाल।
how
Dude, I have seen
That's
comedians.
how I
The
used to
worst
do all
comedian-
stand-up.
The worst comedian I have ever seen is somebody in the green room doing this, like joke बोल रहा है. You know how we walk around backstage and हम लोग अपना set revise कर रहे हैं, line बोल रहे हैं. I've seen Varun do it, Neville do it, Kautuk do it. ऐसे बोलते हैं हम लोग, and you are practicing the words. This guy would go, and then move on to the. वो अपना सर में, he's accounting how much the audience is going to laugh.
But was his laugh the same each time या फिर वो थोड़े इस पे चक्कर
नहीं,
कर
he
रहा
would
था,
change.
थोड़े
He
इस
would
पे
change. He would assume that this is going to get like
A standing
so he
ovation.
would go like,
Hilarious, dude.
I saw him do
Hilarious.
this at one point. Clap, and then move on to the next. And then bombed on stage. That was the
But
So he should have done that on stage also कि कोई हंस रहा नहीं
Yeah.
But the only
उससे
person who
मिलता
will
लाभ।
actually be able to pull it off would be Rohan Desai, because he would do an anti-comedy bit about it and it would have worked for some reason.
So, guys, today I've got something for y'all. Okay. So, other format is कि अपन ऐसा we bring stories to the table and we
हाँ.
talk about it. Okay, stuff that you've seen.
Call before the call. Chalo.
Now, the story I'm going to tell you today. Okay, very interesting story that brings into focus many different aspects of like a lot of different types of things. Like, for example, what is art? Who can create it? What is it? What does it mean to be human? Okay, so all of these things come together in this one incredibly weird, funny, and slightly tragic story. Okay, so here's what happens. This is a story of Naruto the Monkey. And by the way, going from Ming the Tiger, now we are at Naruto the Monkey. Okay, so here's what happens. In 2011, a photographer from Britain called David Slater puts up pictures of a monkey. Okay, it's a black crested macaque.
Do you want
These
me
are
to show the
monkeys.
pictures?
Not right now. I'll tell you when to show it. Okay. So he's gone to Indonesia and he's taken these pictures. Okay. Now the interesting thing about this picture was that this picture was a selfie of a monkey.
I remember this.
Baba,
picture.
you can, yeah, Baba, you can just put that. Can you just put the picture up?
I think most people remember it, but here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they see it, they remember it.
Yeah.
Like,
This picture. Okay. This picture is the picture that he put up. This was a selfie that this macaque has apparently taken. Okay. Here's what happened. So David Slater was in the forest and he found this troop of monkeys. Okay. He was with them for 3 days. On the first day, they were very hesitant with him. By the second day, they got comfortable. By the third day, they were so comfortable with him that they had started grooming him. Okay, they would come up to him. They would start playing with him, jumping on him, that kind of thing. But what he realized was that it was extremely difficult for him to get close-up shots of these monkeys. Because every time you go close to them, they would get very nervous and they would start scattering. So what David Slater did was he put a tripod. He put his camera on the tripod and he put a cable. Okay. And he put he set all the presets on the thing. And what he did is he turned the viewfinder. So the monkeys could see themselves in it. So what happened is that the monkeys saw the thing. There was one monkey in particular who was very curious. So he came to the stand, he saw himself and he clicked on the cable and it took those photos. Okay. It took a bunch of photos. Now, David Slater found these photos. They were incredible. One of them was the one we put up, right? And he sells it to some newspapers in England and they become very viral. Okay, everyone loves them. He's earned a bunch of money from this. Then Wikimedia, the company of Wikipedia, they take the photo and they put it up on their site without giving him any royalties for free.
Oh.
And when he sends the notice saying, "Hey guys, it's my photograph. Can you please take it down?" Wikimedia responds by saying, "It's not your photograph because the monkey
took it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are like, this is not your photograph. It's not your intellectual property, right? Monkey has taken it. It's a non-human that has done this. So it's not yours. There's no copyright claim. You can't do it. Now, he tries to fight this case, but in America, this is the law. The law is that animals cannot have copyright laws, and therefore no one has copyright on this image, right?
But if I have, but it's my equipment and all, then
Exactly. So, Baba, what you're saying is what happens next. Okay. So in 2015, David Slater puts out a book. Okay. It's called Wildlife Personalities or something like that. And in this book, the cover photo of this book is Naruto the Monkey. Okay. And when this book comes out, an organization called PETA
Arey,
sues David Slater on behalf of
Of
the
the
monkey.
hard.
So they use a yes, Baba. Yes,
Fuck.
yes, yes.
पीटा ने सॉल गुडमैन को हायर किया है सीधा.
क्या देश है ब्रो, क्या
तो
कोई भी सू कर सकता है ब्रो. यूएस.
So soon. So basically, it gets so funny, dude, from this point on, and tragic. So here's what happens.
Did the
So-
monkey appear in court?
Hey, सुनना बा, तो क्या
Oh
होता है
shit!
next? Okay, रुक. So PETA has used the thing called next friend principle. Okay, where if a person is unable to be in court for whatever reason, a person can file it on their behalf, and that's what PETA has done. Okay, they have claimed that this is the monkey's image, therefore all proceeds from the book have to go to the monkey.
monkey.
So
Hard.
now
What is the
they
monkey
filed the
buying?
case.
Monkey buying bananas?
Case has gone to court.
monkey mutual fund निकाल रहा है. हाँ.
David Slater's lawyer says in court that PETA has filed on behalf of the monkey, but they have filed on behalf of the wrong monkey.
क्या बात कर. Oh shit. So they didn't file on behalf of Naruto.
Because
No.
in the documents that the PETA has filed, they have said it's a male monkey. But in the book that David Slater put out, he said it very clearly. It was a female monkey. So they're like, आपको पता है कि कौन सा बंदर है? And they're like, नहीं, हम लोग ने check नहीं किया. So they said, did you go to the forest and show him the papers? नहीं. So we should give some money back. Okay, so now what happens is that the case begins, and it got over in 2017, and basically the court thankfully ruled that monkeys can't have copyright laws
Also,
on this
because
thing.
there is precedence, no, in the previous case which David Slater lost.
No. So Baba, Wikimedia, like he hadn't sued Wikimedia. Like, so it wasn't like there wasn't a case until PETA
Okay,
filed
okay.
a suit against him. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, what happens is that the court finally says that the monkey cannot hold rights for this image, and therefore it's yours. They award him the thing. But here's the crazy part, right? The crazy part is that in the process of this whole thing, okay, a bunch of questions came up, which are very interesting. Okay, so one of the things that David Slater said or had to say was that yes, the monkey took the photo, but I contributed a lot by setting up the tripod, by holding the tripod in place, setting the wide lens that was required, all of that stuff. Right now, there is one other person who did something similar, and when you see his photographs, you can see the artistry that David Slater himself has put in. So there was another photographer called Ian Woods who went to Borneo, and he did a similar trick with orangutans. Okay? And when you see Ian Woods photos, you will realize that it's not very good. Like it's not as good as this macaque's photo, right?
Because
And-
the orangutans are very bad selfie takers.
Yeah.
वो लोग नीचे से सेल्फी लेता है, ऊपर से नहीं लेता.
They don't do the duck face, right? Orangutans don't know how to do the duck face correctly.
गलत filter लगा रहा है.
ये साले बंदर
हर
को
चीज
duck face
ऑरेंज
नहीं
बना
आता.
देते हैं. वो लोग हर चीज को ऑरेंज बनाते हैं orangutan.
So basically, you realize the amount of work he has put in. The second thing you have to, the second question that comes up, okay, and this is where like it gets like the questions that we were talking about, right? Like what is a piece of art? So when PETA filed the case, okay, they basically said their whole case rested on the idea that the protection under the Copyright Act does not depend on the humanity of the author, but on the originality of the work itself. Right? So, how should it matter कि आदमी ने बनाया किसी और ने, as long as it's their work, right? If this monkey hadn't done what he did, you wouldn't have this, right? But there was an interesting thing that the Chief Justice of Europe had kind of put out about this, which was this, that they said that it's about the work must be of the author's own intellectual creation, that they should understand that they have created it. And they said that in a test, if you did this test, the monkey would fail spectacularly.
But did they do the test? Or they just assuming the monkey will fail?
They're assuming that the monkey is
उधर Naruto बोल रहा है बेंचो मेरे को पूछा था सही. I mean Naruto case file करेगा against PETA, against Chief Justice of Europe.
I want an IQ test.
कि भाई फोटो लिया मैंने decisions तुम लोग ले रहे हो.
I want 7 bananas for the book, 7 bananas for the.
वो movie था ना जिसमें वो they set that gorilla out into the wild. What is it? Which one is it?
Mighty Joe Young.
No.
King Kong.
Oh, Amy, हाँ. हाँ वो जो डायमंड्स ढूंढने जाते हैं for lasers.
Congo टाइप नहीं.
Congo
ही है.
Congo.
हाँ. तो वो कॉन्गो में वैसा, तो अगर नरूटो को वो हाथ में डाल दिया जो फिर वैसा अबे गांडू मैंने फोटो
जैसे प्लैनेट ऑफ द एप्स में हुआ था.
This is why the revolt.
This is where it starts.
I think that this should be such a good reason for why Planet of the Apes actually happened. Origin story वापस ये टाइम चेक करने ना, नरूटो घुसता है लीगल सिस्टम से, तो उस टाइम बोला कि चल अभी किए रेवोल्यूशन.
And then he goes to the library. वहाँ पे मुन्ना भाई बैठा होता है, वो भी ऐसे लॉ पढ़ रहा होता है, मेहनत करते.
the prologue of the thing is him just sitting in the court with like a hoodie and just
why
watching
he's not a drug dealer, bro. He's a photographer.
As the judge is saying that there is no intellectual property right for monkey, then cut to him just like on the steps of that Philadelphia library shot. No, it's not Bollywood. We have to decide which movie it is. Okay.
We are talking about a monkey in court.
Monkey jail में जाता है.
You think
monkey jail में जाता है.
The problem point is whether it's Bollywood or if
Morgan Freeman मिलता है, उसको पोस्टर देता है, और फिर monkey ऐसे खड्डा खोदता है.
But there is an oeuvre that you have, right? Like if you're doing Planet of the Apes, then it can't be something else, na?
Okay, but Baba, there's two other things about this. Okay, so the first is the crazy thing about this whole incident. Okay, is this that when
once
PETA
I got to this
case,
is pretty crazy. You can't keip saying crazy thing
it
about
gets,
this incident.
It gets more and more. So here's the and it's a little. Here's the slightly more tragic aspect of it. So, when PETA filed the case against David Slater, the legal costs were so high that David Slater went bankrupt because of Monkey. Okay. And because of this case, he was put off of photography. So they asked him, what are you going to do? He's like, yeah, I'm thinking of becoming a tennis coach or a dog walker because I can't pick up the camera again. Okay. So it reached that point for him, and then finally the court was like, "नहीं, तू सही है, तू tension मत ले, dog walking छोड़, वापस photography कर." So what they did is
did PETA pay damages to David Slater?
So and here's the crazy thing. So
this is the 3 Idiots में होता है ना, मुझे wildlife photography करनी है, तो ये करना है, मुझे engineering कर चुपचाप.
Bad idea. So basically what happened is they filed the court did this, and then later David Slater PETA, where now what he does is 25% of the proceeds from the book go to the monkey.
Naruto.
So it goes to the monkeys. So what happened is that David Slater and a representative from PETA, they landed up on a morning talk show with Piers Morgan of all the.
Oh wow!
Okay, and Piers Morgan constantly is just going like, "Oh, so have you told the monkey? Have you told the monkey he won?" And the poor PETA lady is like, "No, no." Do you think he would understand? Monkey. Yeah. She literally said that monkeys cannot understand us, and we cannot understand them. It's like, then what was the point of this whole case?
Seriously.
So, but what a world where Piers Morgan is almost right.
Almost right.
So no, but so the point was that at the end of the day, thankfully, this monkey is an endangered species. It's got a lot of attention, and hopefully that through this case and through the photo, people are more inclined to save them. And the second outcome is that hopefully through all of this, the monkeys also get some money. And here's thankfully the
in all
why are
monkeys,
monkeys
There's
getting
good
money?
news.
I love the
Wait, one
monkeys ka
second,
kaisa
guys. Let me
proper-
finish.
Sorry.
The real good news is Condé Nast has approached
the
David
monkey
Slater.
for a
David Slater.
मेरे को लगा Naruto is going to be like Condé Nast का.
They have approached David Slater. They bought the rights to the story, and hopefully they're going to come out with a documentary about the whole thing. So it all ends well finally. for
and the
everybody.
fourth outcome is Naruto YouTube channel launch kar raha hai.
Yeah.
Hi guys, you've been asking me about my usual
My skin routine.
What I do is I just keep picking lies from wherever I find it, and
Sometimes from my friends also. And just, it's just
Anyway.
that's my diet.
अगला हफ्ता मैं podcast start कर रहा है मेरे 4 दोस्त लोग के साथ.
shit, bro,
But,
that's
uh,
nuts.
But
Yeah.
one
Speaking
sec,
of-
now with Condé Nast picking up this thing, is Condé
बाबा तू
Nast going to
Condé
get
Nast को
sued?
भी क्या Condé Nast
I said
Condé
Condé
Nast.
Nast only.
Condé Nast.
I'm saying with Condé Nast picking up this, is Condé Nast going to get sued by some fourth monkey?
Yeah. The story
Saying-
goes
नहीं
on.
वो बोर्नियो वाला ओरंगटान उसको सू करेगा कि क्या भाई उसको डॉक्यूमेंट्री हम ऐसे ही हम
ऐसे ही।
हमारा कुछ नहीं.
क्या मतलब?
हमारा कुछ नहीं.
So
Speaking of monkeys taking money from places that are not theirs. Has anybody seen Money Heist recently?
Yeah. Yeah.
wait.
काफी
wait,
अच्छा
I have
काफी अच्छा segue जीत रहे.
First of all, I have a genuine problem with this season of Money Heist. Okay, that it is bad.
मतलब
I've had to. Okay, first of all, पूरा मार्केटिंग कैंपेन बेला चाओ पे एक बार गाना नहीं बजा है, पूरा
पीछे नहीं
पांच episode।
पीछे इंस्ट्रूमेंटल बजा.
एक-
और सबसे पहले
5
मेरे को
सेकंड।
जानना है कि जो एंटी फैशिस्ट मूवमेंट था जिधर ये गाना पहले बार यूज हुआ, क्या उन्होंने कभी सोचा कि बहुत सालों बाद ये एक शो में यूज किया जाएगा ऐसे?
Bro,
and then
wait,
it will be
full disclosure. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I've not seen a single anything of Money Heist.
Are you
I'm just
going to
tell
watch
you
it?
all the things. No, I'm not going to. But I'm just going to tell you all the things I know. Okay.
Okay, wait,
Bella
hold on.
Ciao.
But guys, firstly,
हाँ.
there might be spoilers. So if you
Yeah.
haven't watched, you're a
Yeah.
big fan, you want to blah blah blah, गाली नहीं देना बाद में, क्योंकि हम लोग के मुंह से शायद
yeah.
स्पॉइलर निकल जाएगा. ठीक है, जैसे पहला स्पॉइलर बाबा ने दिया कि ये सीजन खराब है.
ये स्पॉइलर नहीं है, ये सच है.
ठीक है.
Also,
I wouldn't say
The
season
खराब
season
है.
ही spoiler है. The season
I would
is
say
the
ठीक है.
spoiler.
But it's okay anyway. Go on. कौतुक तू पूछ, तेरे क्या सवाल है?
Nahi, so I would like here's what I've learned. Okay. One is this Bella Ciao song. The second is that there is a guy called Professor who
Professor.
looks like Shah Rukh.
हाँ.
This is
No,
some
he doesn't
information
look
that
like
I
He
Shah
got.
Rukh,
doesn't
but
look like Shah Rukh.
when they
Shah
said
Rukh could look like him.
हाँ,
they
कि
said
जब
no,
बनेगा
no,
मनी है हिंदी
बनेगा
में
इंडिया
तो
में।
शाहरुख को लेंगे.
Cool.
ये जो लोग हैं ना जो डिसाइड करते हैं कि कास्टिंग रैंडम ऑनलाइन बैठ के.
What if Bollywood actors were in Money Heist?
हाँ.
No,
And
there
the
was a
third
rumor
thing
that Money Heist बन रहा है हिंदी में और Professor is Shah
Yeah,
Which I don't get it.
Shah
Anyway, the
Rukh
show
has
is
the rights.
popular in India, so popular कि अभी तू ये सेम चीज वापस हिंदी में बुलवाएगा तो कुछ ऐसे
Money
उखाड़े
Heist is
not.
called Houseful in India, guys.
Yeah.
And the third thing I know is that the protagonists are named after cities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nairobi. And
Yes.
That's all I know.
Tokyo,
In all of this, the
Nairobi,
first thing you should know is
Rio.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
जिसके लिए आधे लड़के ये शो देखते हैं. That's
But-
Tokyo.
Achha, okay.
Okay,
But I've heard of Nairobi. That's the most.
Okay,
Nairobi
I'll
is
tell
the
you
most likable
honestly,
character.
unpopular
Tokyo is
opinion,
like-
but I love the show.
I
The
liked
current
the show
season?
so far. This
Yeah, I
season
love
is
the show
bad.
so far.
And I'll tell
I
you
love
my
the show so
problem
far.
with this season.
Really?
My problem with
Yeah,
this
no,
season.
not this particular season. I've not
ये
seen
आदर
at
और
all.
कौतुक
So
अपना ही
right now,
podcast चालू
I'm
कर
very,
रहे हैं।
तुम लोग क्या
like,
सेपरेटली बात कर रहे हैं?
इन लोग का
दूसरे से?
अपना ही पॉडकास्ट चालू है, अपना ही रेडियो शो चालू है उधर.
हाँ.
Hello and welcome to Radio FM 98.1178.5.
I feel like we're doing a duet, like
Yeah.
Lata Mangeshkar and Mukesh.
So
हाँ, बोल
what I
बाबा.
was no, I like the show.
I
I
love.
used to I was going to say love, but then I realized I don't really. I like the show.
Sorkin ने नहीं लिखा है.
No, of course not. But I'm saying And I love the title track also, by the way.
Yeah.
Papa
Which
was
which
great.
honestly in the history of title tracks has nothing that connects it to the actual show at hand.
Yeah,
Okay. I like the tracks separately, like independent of being connected to the show.
Yeah, which
but,
is,
like,
by the
it
way, it's
grows
not
on me.
Bella Ciao. Huh?
Yeah, it's not the
It is not
No, it's
Bella
not.
Ciao.
It's not.
No, I know it.
I don't care no more.
So I genuinely used to watch the show, and it's great time pass. It's very like clickbaity. So you'll genuinely hooky. So you'll watch it and everything.
Hey,
The problem with this season is they've stretched so much.
Yes,
of it,
but they
and
have
so,
to. ये
what?
ऊपर से order आया कि हम लोग को भाई, because when you have a show that is
अभी
this
December 5th
popular,
को एक और season.
yes, you have to keep खिंचोing people to it. That's the thing.
It's
So
not
by
the
the
same,
way,
it's the
to
same
there, na?
season. It's the same season ka last
Yeah,
5
second
episodes, na?
episode.
It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
another.
and they haven't had the time with the pandemic to completely shoot and
Yeah.
like manage to edit all. So that's why. But I'll tell you, when Money Heist came out, it wasn't originally on Netflix. It was a Spanish show that was made,
Yeah.
came on Spanish TV.
Casa del Papel.
Casa
Yes,
de
yes.
Papel. Haan.
Ah,
Which I don't know how it translates to Money Heist. That's House of Paper essentially in
Yeah,
Spanish.
yeah.
And
Which is the
ispe-
mint, no?
Yeah.
The
and
mint.
English translation to Money Heist was really
Ah.
lame. That's the
They
lamest
would have
thing I
been
feel
better
about
off
the show.
just naming it after it. Just
No, but and it came on Spanish TV. आके रह गया था, कुछ नहीं, कोई नहीं देखा, इतना कुछ बवाल नहीं मचा. Then Netflix picked it up. So once it got syndicated on Netflix, वो reach ऐसा फैला, bro. I also remember how I randomly came across it many years back. And the first 2 seasons are actually really, really good.
They are excellent.
yeah,
They're really
excellent.
good. And I still,
Fantastic.
you know, the why I watch it is because they have amazing production quality. Amazing production quality, I feel. And it's time pass. It's the most Bollywoody non-Bollywood show.
Yeah, and I've literally had to forward some random.
नहीं, because bro,
Tokyo
उन लोग ये
running
हाइस्ट
crap
के बीच में उन लोग का चालू रहते, जैसे लीड एक्टर्स से गोली वोली मारे, ठीक है, लेकिन साइड में ना रोमांटिक बात कर रहे, उधर से
अरे वो छोड़,
सामने
ये
एक
ऐसा
ब्राउनिंग
गोली मार
लेके
रहा है,
कोई
बोल रहा है।
गोली मार रहा है, बट यू नो आई लव यू, आई आल्सो लव यू. अबे चूतिया, गोली मार रहे हैं तेरे को, तू आगे देख.
47 है तुम लोग के हाथ
अरे
में.
but you're still talking about this, वो ऐसा गोली मार रहा है, cut to flashback.
हाँ, बीच में.
और
But they have to
7.5
खींचो
minute
it,
का
right?
flashback.
Like they have to
Dude,
खींचो it,
it's-
because you look at Berlin's part. Kautuk, Berlin is basically one of the characters who got damn popular. But again, spoiler alert for people who've not
Dies.
seen anything, he dies, right? In
So they
season
have to
2.
keep him alive. So there's flashbacks of before he's dead, before
तो-
the plan of the plan.
Yeah. तो बनते जाते हैं, सब आगे का दिखा रहे हैं. And suddenly
No,
every season
so
में
the thing is, this has become a trope in a lot of series. Like yesterday, I was watching a series with Aparna, and one of the important characters died, and I was like, "Hey, wait, but she's a big actress. How can she die?" And Aparna is like, "नहीं, वो flashback में दिखाएंगे, then complete her. उसका shooting days complete करेंगे." So,
ब्रो, ये वाले सीजन में बर्लिन का एक सेपरेट ट्रैक है, which maybe eventually will connect to currently what is happening, but it's literally the plan before the plan before the plan.
bro, this is like,
और उस-
you know, it's like in what's happening now is so true. What you guys are talking about is like when you have a franchise, actors can't die. Like especially
Yeah.
popular ones, you know.
Yeah.
Like for example, in Star Wars, public आता जाता है वापस, आता जाता है.
Yeah.
Like Palpatine was gone, he's back. Don't worry, guys, he's back. There's
अबे
one video.
तू उसकी बात कर रहा है, सास भी गई बहुती में मीर मर गया था, उसको भी
मीर?
लेके आए थे वापस.
Here is the original Palpatine.
Dude,
Bro, all of Avengers, half of them were gone.
Yeah.
And then people were like, no one's really gone.
Yeah, are you mad?
yeah, and you saw that, and by the way, you saw that the fact
You
that
know it was going to happen.
Alicia, you know what's her name? The inspector who captures the professor. Sierra, huh? So I was sure that she's going to go into labor in the middle of, like everybody knew that.
But
This
वो
was it,
थोड़ा
like,
कॉर्नी हो गया.
Yeah,
और
वो, of course, वो, we've been expecting that to happen since the season began.
but you know as much as I like the show, they have a template which when you see it fresh for the first time, right, first 2 seasons, it instantly hooks you. Where gang tries to do something, shit, police have come in, now they're fucked. What do we do? flashback to the plan happening. Professor has predicted this will happen, and hence this is your solution to it.
मैं जानता हूँ कि तुम जानते हो कि मैं
कि वो जानता हो कि तुम जानते हो, ठीक है.
और इसके लिए मैं वो करूंगा जो तुमने सोचा नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं जानता था कि तुम
क्योंकि मैंने ऑलरेडी सोचा कि तुमने जो नहीं सोचा वो मैं सोच लेता तुम्हारे सोचने से पहले.
Directed by
खड़क सिंह के खड़कने से खड़कती है खिड़कियां, खिड़कियों के
अब्बास
मस्तान making money.
बट लेकिन फिर भी बहुत मजा आता है देखने के लिए, bro. The only thing is I don't think anybody gets hurt with a bullet on this show, right? Because the amount of ammo these guys have, non-stop घड़ चल रहा है, एक गोली नहीं लगती किसी को, bro.
अरे bro, they're all either bad aims. I'm saying ricochet होके भी कैसा नहीं लग रहा है, ये भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, because it's in a mint.
ऐसे physics of bullets ये शो में नहीं होता है.
अरे bro,
ये शो में physics of bullet has their own law of motion, where it will go towards the character and then swim away.
But even the story has its own law of motion, no? Because anything is happening for any reason without any sense. कुछ भी भलता चल रहा है. And my disappointment with
बैंक
this
के अंदर
season,
स्कूबा डाइविंग कौन से वाले में था?
What?
Yeah, see the reaction. This is what I wanted.
Okay, but that sounds stupid now. But in the sense of when you watch the show, you'll understand it. And Aadar, it's not scuba diving. Scuba diving implies कि तू नीचे जाके साला coral reef देख के आ रहा है.
हाँ.
Exactly. Wait, is he saying that like inside Kotak Mahindra, someone went with a tank?
Yeah.
Inside?
No.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, because money heist happens in Kotak Mahindra, Indian Nagar.
Anyway, so I'm saying what the disappointing thing about this was, like, I wouldn't have minded even if they did. I understand that they couldn't finish it, etc. I wouldn't have minded even if it was 3 episodes. But it's 3 tight episodes like the first season.
Yeah, but they have to खींचे ना बाबा, because
अरे,
you know
I'm
being
saying
right
drop
now
it again.
OTT का mandate when you are doing shows, right, is
Watch time.
I have to get these people hooked and hooked for a while,
But hooked
and then
तो है
keep
ना
them
तू.
coming back.
तू
तो
अगर
money heist से
6
better
सीजन रुका है, तू अगर 6 सीजन रुका है तो तू
अभी भी 250 कंट्री में ये शो दिखाएंगे ब्रो, और उधर किल हो रहा है. Which again, the thing I want to talk about Money Heist is this, where चल कॉर्नी है जो भी है तू बोल, but so many fucking countries it's popular. Like their popularity is insane right now, which has only been possible because of something like a Netflix being there, right? The show came और Spanish TV पे आके चले गया, किसी को मालूम नहीं.
I have one question for you. Varun, do you watch it in Spanish with English subtitles?
Yes,
or do you watch
always.
It in English,
I foreign language shows I watch it in the language it's made in. और ये और मेरा निकिता का हमेशा फाइट होते हैं, बोल रहे मेरे को इंग्लिश डब चाहिए. मतलब क्यों? So that I can also scroll and not miss it, because अभी इंग्लिश में डायलॉग बोल रहे हैं, even if तू Instagram scroll कर तेरे को मालूम है कि शो क्या है.
I had to use English subtitles as dark. Sorry, English dubbing.
Because dark from what I've heard.
Yeah, because it's such a visual show.
Yeah,
what I've heard, dark in German is fantastic.
I watched in German only, but here's the thing: while watching dark, you don't need English dub. You need the creator of the show to explain to you what is happening. ठीक है, क्योंकि एक टाइम तो समझ में आ रहा है, फिर एंड में कुछ भी हो रहा है. समझ में आया.
There are forums, अलग से forums है जहाँ पे तुम actually जाके देख सकते हो पूरा family tree and it explains it to you.
Dark भी horror ही है ना, लेकिन
horror नहीं है, bro, time travel है.
मैं देख सकता है क्या?
Science fiction. It's epic science fiction.
Is it like Stranger Things horror?
Depends. देखो time travel से डर लगता है क्या बाबा?
Stranger Things is also horror, ना?
No, it's a thriller about just time travel and like think Inception.
One second, Baba. You're trying to tell me that you're not watching Stranger Things, a show basically made for young adults, because you're scared.
Yeah, it's horror.
अरे उसमें वो demon आता है ना पूरा.
Yeah, Demogorgon के
horror. Baba is a 7-year-old.
Yeah,
he's a 7-year-old.
But that's not even horror, bro.
Don't let the beard fool you.
No, I can't.
Or the unkeptness.
But
or not having a bath. That's actually 7-year-old.
Very interesting thing you brought up, which is Nikita scrolling while watching thing. There's an entire genre of TV that has now come out called ambient TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
कि चलते रहे.
Yeah. So, and you apparently the structure of it is also in such a way that at any point, if you come back to the show,
you'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Literally
every within the episode.
Yeah, 100%. एक show है Good Girls करके, ठीक है, which we started watching. Christina Hendricks and all in it. Started off really well. Now it's become ambient TV for us because we stuck around. See, that's the other thing, the game of OTT, right? To keep you hooked to it. Because एक बार तूने 4-5 एपिसोड देख लिए ना, तेरे को शो अच्छा भी नहीं लग रहा है ना, तो बोला चल मैं कंप्लीट तो कर लेता हूँ क्योंकि साला भी इतना बैठा तो चल देखते हैं कि क्या है आगे जाके. So
Yeah, but that's my thing. That's not true for
Agents
Money
of
Heist.
Shield. Agents of Shield मैंने खाली previously on Agents of Shield देखा है actually. Just on, क्या है.
बट बाबा मीनिंग तो बेसिकली अगर तू डायरेक्ट कर रहा होता मनी हाइस्ट या तू
ये
लिख रहा
राइटिंग
होता,
का प्रॉब्लम है. हाँ.
हाँ तो क्या
bro, ये
क्या
खींचने का प्रॉब्लम है because it's they
Yeah.
because you have mandated 10 episode 40 मिनट का to retain viewership. The thing is they'll stretch it. It's the Tarak Mehta principle according to me. जब Tarak
Wow.
Mehta
Be better.
entire show could have been 20 episodes. उसका 2500 एपिसोड बना है. ठीक है.
Okay, once
खींचे.
Money Heist to
Thakur.
Tarak Mehta.
Thakur, tell me something. If someone treated Tarak Mehta with a heist movie treatment, तू देखता कि नहीं देखता?
Of course.
है
मैं
ना?
तारक मेहता वैसे
गोकुलधाम
भी देखता. गोकुलधाम
What if
सोसाइटी में
somebody
क्या हो रहा है?
treated Money Heist as Tarak Mehta? It's just the Tokyo person is just talking
I
like
have a
people from
feeling we are
Tokyo.
leading.
It's just
I have a
Rio,
feeling
just,
we are
just
leading
all
into another
caricatures.
MCU DC conversation.
No, bro.
wait.
No.
I have one more question, okay, which is this: that
What would I
Firstly,
change? No,
first tell what would you change, and then I have another question after that.
I would have tried to make this. I would have done justice to what it was in season 1 and 2. I would have done 40-minute ka episodes or 30-minute ka episodes into 4, but stayed true to because genuinely like how Thakur was saying, the first 2 seasons didn't have chingam. The chingam was just right. It was just that right amount of stretch before they let it go. Like you were about to go and they sort of let it go. This rubber band is just, it's not even, it's a different rubber band only. They're like, ये rubber band देख रहा है, green color का rubber band. फिर हम लोग भूल गए.
No, but that usually tends to happen, man. Like you look at other shows, Prison Break. Remember back in the day, एक show था
Yeah,
Prison Break.
Prison Break
right?
is a
Prison
faulty
Break
premise.
first-
जिसने approve किया उसको चमाट मारने का था.
क्यों?
नहीं.
बाप
First
show था,
season
bro.
was fun. Na?
First season was बाप.
Because the
problem
whole
is when he
season was about
arrives in the second prison.
Yeah,
Second,
नहीं.
oh shit, अभी जगह नहीं है tattoo करने की.
नहीं वो निकल गया सीजन 2 में प्रिजन से निकल जाते हैं सीजन 3 में सीजन 2 में रेटिंग्स ड्रॉप हो क्या अरे तू प्रिजन ब्रेक शो अभी प्रिजन से भागे पब्लिक तो फिर वापस उनको प्रिजन में भेजा ठीक है थर्ड सीजन में और फोर्थ और फिफ्थ सीजन में कुछ भी चल रहा था प्रिजन था ही नहीं आसपास
अरे सेम
Money Heist was same thing happened once they got out. Once you got out, the whole point of Money Heist why people would watch it is to see the planning, how they executed. अरे ये इतना forward thinking किया था प्रोफेसर ने ये सब के बारे में सब चीज के बारे में प्रोफेसर ने सोच लिया literally
25 साल ना it was a heist 25 years in the making. Exposition में बोल दिया
I'm talking about even the other one when they after that when they go in the current is to get the gold out. आप वो रियो के साथ जो करके जो गोल्ड आउट करने जाते हैं दैट वाज आल्सो डन बिकॉज योर शो का मेन थिंग वर्क्स ऑन द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ भाई इन लोग बैंक में होने चाहिए या उन लोग जिधर भी जहां से भी हाइस्ट करना है दे हैव टू बी बैक इनसाइड सो देयर इज ओनली सो मच यू कैन डू व्हाट आई लाइक्ड अबाउट मनी हाइस्ट वाज एंड द ओनली अदर फिल्म आई हैव लाइक्ड who has done something different with the premise of a heist has been Inside Man. If you watch Inside Man, fucking credible, right? So the spin on heist, you know that there are certain things that are going to happen. It's standard heist formula, but to give us fresh spin to that and to do it in the way they have done it was really cool. And the Spanishness of it was
nobody is denying that it was great. I'm saying season 5 is just a letdown because you've just gone and made it chingam. Like you remember the show Heroes? You remember the show Heroes?
Yeah.
What a great first season.
What a great premise.
What a great first season, Heroes. And it kept you hooked like crazy. But
save the cheerleader. मुझे cheerleader बचानी थी. Even though there were no cheerleaders in our college.
Hayden Panettiere.
Save the girl.
Panettiere, जो भी उसका नाम.
You know what the crazy thing is? I feel like it's very, very difficult to come up with seasons on the fly. Like because if you're writing anything really well, the idea is that you're painting yourself into a corner, right? Yeah. And like for example, one of the biggest examples of this was Sherlock, where remember in one season he is apparently dead. He jumps off a roof or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like Moriarty dies or something like that. And it's like, what happened? And they painted themselves and they genuinely didn't know what to do. So jab wapas aaya, and now what you have to do, the other thing that happens with the internet is that creators get boxed in not just by their own limitations, but
Fan
also
theories.
by
Expectation.
by expectation, because there's so much speculation, there's so many forums, so many outlets, and it's not niches, it's not like a small group of people doing it, it's everybody. Like
Yeah,
one
for
of
sure.
classic examples is also Game of Thrones, which ended so spectacularly badly that it's ended the franchise. Like there was a article I read where there were toy manufacturers and retailers who had placed massive orders for all these collectibles, and when the last season came out, nobody bought them, so they have sold them back to the parent company, they sold it back to HBO, going koi nahi kharid raha hai, aap rakho.
No, this happened with Star Wars. This happened with Star Wars when there was a toy manufacturer that took the exclusive rights to the first Star Wars movie, New Hope, and nobody really cared about it. And when the movie released, it became such a huge deal. They didn't have a toy in the market, so it took 1 year for the toy to arrive in the market. But then they had to keep buzz up. So then the Empire Strikes Back, which was Luke, I'm your father moment. So it became huge. Return of the Jedi again became huge. George Lucas realized that this is shit, and उनका कुछ एक stipulated amount था जो उन लोग को उसको transfer करना था, which they didn't do. They were in breach of contract. George Lucas took it back, and he sold the rights back to them later on when the new movie was coming out. That episode 1, the disaster that was episode 1. But the hype was insane.
Yeah.
So these guys bought it at the highest rate possible because they wanted that rights back in their company. And when the movie released, the company became bankrupt. It got screwed so badly because the movie did badly. So
like,
this
it's
movie,
very difficult, which is why I was coming to the point that
franchise killer.
very difficult to write as you go for all these reasons. But when you plan in advance, it's always great. Like Breaking Bad, perfect example. He had 5 seasons planned, mapped out, उतना ही किया.
But इन लोगों को तो मालूम भी नहीं था कि मिलने वाला है. Like it's that sudden popularity which made them realize, oh fuck, अभी third बनाना पड़ेगा, चल बना देते हैं. What do people like? अरे जब हम लोग heist करते हैं, डालो अंदर. And then what happened is, I feel there are, as much as I love watching it, don't get me wrong, I'll still watch. वो stretched है, ये है, predictable है, format है, template है, सब कुछ है, but देखने में मजा आता है. But what they started doing is that in an effort to outsmart the audience, because the whole character of the professor is that gets pulled into a corner, outsmarts people, and hey, the execution and the planning of that is what you come to watch on this show. Then the few other tropes to keep the series going, right? Because you have one primary motive, and then you have 10 different characters जिनका interpersonal relationship है, पहले क्या किया, वो खींचना बीचना, वो boring हो गया. Like, you know that Arturito is going to try and escape and take a gun and create a thing. They've repeated that again. You know, like there's few of those things that just kept happening again and again. And like you could predict it. कि अभी ये करेगा ऐसा.
Yeah, this is also like a sequel problem where sequel problem has always been when you created the first product, you didn't do it thinking what would people like. You did it because here's a story you wanted to tell. The sequel, when it happens, you go in with the intention of what did people like the first time. Let's do more of that. But that's not what people came for.
Correct.
Right? So, and it always kind of tanks.
No, but like it's crazy the phenomena that it's become, man. Like अभी एक तो सब लोग के पास Halloween पे क्या costume पहन के जाना है वो हो गया है अगले 5 साल के लिए. डाली मास्क पहनो, रेड जंपसूट पहनो, बेला चाव गाओ. अरे क्या यार मस्त तू. The amount of people I know, dude, कोई भी तू Halloween इस पे देख, they all go as with that डाली mask.
अबे इधर जूहू सर्कल पे वो लोग बेच रहे थे.
क्या ये मास्क?
हाँ. जू सर्कल पे सबसे पहले आता है. कुछ भी ट्रेंडिंग होता है, you want to know what is good as pop culture, you check out Juice Signal. तभी पता चलेगा तुमको.
Dude, fuck, it was crazy. And like they wear it and they come and they're like crazy.
But तेरा favorite character कौन है बाबा शो पे? Professor.
Yeah, it's in that it's either Berlin Professor और वो जो दाढ़ी वाला कॉप है ना,
Tamayo
नहीं,
या अंगेल,
वो ऑनेस्ट वाला जो गांड मारता है टमायो की बाद में.
Angel.
Angel.
Who's in love with Lisboa. But you know, and you know, few of these things were really cool, right? Like, because you watch any of these heist movies, they usually have, right? Like Reservoir Dogs had Mr. White, Mr. Red, Mr. Blue, Mr. Green, ye wo. So isme naam sabke the as city names, right? And in that, the girl who eventually gets with Denver, okay, because she is one of the hostages in the bank.
Stockholm.
Uska naam Stockholm. I thought that was really smart.
Acha, but wait. I want to ask you guys this. As a person who's not seen this, if you had to create characters, okay, with Indian city names, what characteristics would you use?
Acha.
So Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore.
Arturo would be Gurgaon.
No. Create a new character.
Acha.
Oh, fully new character.
Yeah, just what characteristics would you give that?
अबे हो गया ना फिर घूम फिर के तारक मेहता ही हो गया ना.
हाँ, फिर तो तारक मेहता हो गया ना. बॉम्बे वाला भाई होएगा. एक सरदार. Jackie Shroff will be Mumbai.
एक कोई साउथ इंडिया से, एक कलकत्ता से.
What would be their skills? Like what are they?
But that's what I'm saying. No, you're linking it to the city. That's not the case for the episode.
No, I'm saying that's what would end up happening here. You try and apply that, you'll be like, oh, he is Mr. Mumbai, तो इसको भिड़े बनाओ. अरे, he is Mr.
No, if he's Mumbai, he'll be a like whatever. It's some like whatever.
I think we are calling this. This is going to happen whenever the Money Heist in Hindi comes out, which I'm pretty sure.
So let's answer all those questions. Who do you think would be an Indian version of Money Heist?
Bell bottom.
Like what we're doing is we're calling the writing process. We're calling the scripting process right now.
No, but that's what. No, I'm saying Kautuk's question is in itself like because Kautuk is saying, make the city and give him a skill set. That's not how they're named in the show.
But they've just been named at random. It's got nothing
Except
to
Tokyo,
do.
who has some Tokyo connection. But
no, not really. They just call it Tokyo.
The Tokyo was because this is where I was spent the 2.5 years.
हाँ, वो तो back story है ना, because they all have some connection to the city that they like the city.
एक तो ये टोक्यो को देख के मेरा इरिटेट हो जाता है, मेरा चाटा मारने.
Yeah, because she just screws up stuff. No,
she's so hot, bro. She's damn good.
Dumb, like
Ursula Corbero. अच्छी है क्या है?
मेरे कैरेक्टर से
तेरा फेवरेट कैरेक्टर कौन है फिर?
बोला तो I mean it'll all be in that same region of Berlin ये वो सब. Berlin at least has like shades to him, dude. Even Berlin's what's his name? Berlin's partner
Palermo.
Palermo, damn good character, dude.
But you know, one thing that they've also tried to do a lot, like there is a trans person on this show. Trying to, because like it's very important when you're writing a show in today's times, stuff about what is culturally and socially relevant finds its way into your show. Like I was telling you about Good Girls. In Good Girls, there's one character. Uska jo, she has a daughter who's transitioning towards being a boy. In real life too, and they've taken that, which is really good, right? Because you're watching all of these shows and there's a reflection of current social climate in it. Stuff that needs to be spoken about or given attention to is really good. You look at it's maybe Helsinki and Oslo. They are lovers, and they are not portrayed as effeminate boys or anything. They're
the muscle of the team. They're the muscle of the team. No?
And they're both gay. You know, like so it's good.
Actually, Nairobi. I love Nairobi and Oslo or Helsinki ka relationship.
Nairobi and Helsinki.
Helsinki, no?
Yeah.
Nairobi is also a great character actually.
और शो में 1000 बार तो आओ रहा मतलब now. आधा स्पेनिश तो मैं शो देख के सीखा है, bro. And you realize that half the words are like exactly is exactement. बहुत simple है.
Also French, but हाँ.
Exactamente, not exactement. But yeah, so काफी अगर स्पेनिश सीखना है तुमको और टाइम पास करना है तो I think it's a good fun show to watch. Yes, granted recent season थोड़ा खींचे.
No, I'll watch it in December 5th. I will watch. It's
of
not
course.
like I will not.
आया immediately देखा मैं.
तो it's just.
और सबसे फनी तो ये था कि बेला चाव इतना ये हो गया कि अभी किसी ने मैंने एक मीम देखा उसमें मराठी में गा रहे जो कुत्ते को बोल रहे अपने त्याला चाव त्याला चाव त्याला चाव.
इतना फनी मीम्स निकाला है पब्लिक ने. इट्स लाइक I don't even. So there's, I think this is the comedy collective from Gujarat,
Comedy Factory.
Comedy Factory.
Manan.
So them, Manan Desai and all these guys, they had a series of really funny memes. एक तो शांगची का इन लोग ने बहुत अच्छा किया था, which was Jackie Shroff and this Comedy Factory guys. It was just Maushi Chi. It was so fun. Maushi Chi and the 10 Bhedos.
Hilarious.
So बहुत कुछ है. Once the memes start, it goes into a complete different tizzy altogether.
But like talking about Money Heist on
Kautuk,
Netflix.
आज I am putting my hand in Kautuk's jar of
goodies.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Bao, what do you guess? What it is?
Yes.
Bao,
Wow,
guess what it is.
I'm surprised it's not stuck to the bottom of the jar.
Show
It
me what
was.
it is.
Kautuk had to shake it all out.
What do you think it is, Bao?
It is,
Masala nuts.
No, but it's Cajun masala nuts.
No, it's Thai sweet chili, Bao.
Thai sweet chili.
It's Thai sweet chili.
You can
peanuts.
almost taste. ये Thai curry से कैसे निकल के आए.
You can taste the despair.
Oh, when Aadar came home today, he's got two things for me. One was a khakada, and the second one was a what? Mutia.
Mutia. I got him some mutia.
Which is also a really bad Hindi slang.
Yeah. One reason I picked it up in the store and I'm laughing while buying it. And the guy is looking at me like pagal ho gaya hai. And I'm like, Kautuk ko dunga, ye dekh, main tere liye mutia laya.
Bro, we were walking in a store the other day, and there's literally a snack called Gota. I swear to God.
And you're like,
and
pack
it's
me
balls.
5 of these.
It's literally balls. Yeah,
Gota.
it's a round Gujarati snack called Gota. So
They
So
don't
what
mess
is it?
around.
Sweet,
They're like, we're pretty
savory?
clear.
salty, I'm assuming.
Yeah. They're salty.
Okay, moving
Okay.
on.
So moving on to what I want to talk about. By the way, you guys know, right? It's 20th anniversary very soon of 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
pretty much like it's a big deal. Like I found out right now, I'm like, fuck, 20 saal ho gaya hai, bro.
Yeah.
20 saal ho gaya, because like nowadays anywhere you watch, obviously in the last month or so we've seen Taliban coming back into power, US leaving,
There's that Netflix thing also called Turning Point.
or if you ever watch Republic channel nowadays, they only talk about Taliban. That's all. और मेरे टीवी पे क्या है, कुछ डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग है कि जैसे मैं टीवी चालू किया ना, and if I don't change the source to my Fire Stick, one channel plays and that channel is Republic TV. तो मैं जब भी टीवी चालू करता हूँ, I have to hold the remote and press mute first, क्योंकि literally कोई भौंक रहा है जोर जोर से. अब ये जैसे तालिबानी आतंकी, इनको आप देख सकते थे रात को, सुबह, दिन में, दोपहर में. Republic का focus is just Taliban.
अरे
नहीं,
because
it's just
उधर
he was
TRP
watching
मिलेगा
TV,
ना.
he was watching Republic of one of the channels where they're just screaming के US आर्मी के कपड़ों में तालिबानी, US आर्मी के कपड़ों में, US आर्मी अपने कपड़े कैसे छोड़ गए? मतलब मैं छोड़ दिए ना कपड़े, उन लोग ने पहन लिए. But it's insane. Then
No,
they were
it's-
showing helicopters and things like that they're left behind.
Correct. No, but like, obviously watching all of this so much, you just realize that in all of this, Afghanistan obviously has been like the center point, right? Or Baba, agar tu turning point dekha hai, you just realize, firstly, they call Afghanistan the graveyard of empires.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
every massive colonial power, whatever power ever,
Yes,
who has
brilliant.
tried, nobody has managed to conquer Afghanistan. Right? British try kiya, Russian try kiya, most recently Americans try kiya. कुछ नहीं होता है. And so I've obviously एक black hole में चले और वीडियो पे वीडियो देख के आ रहा हूँ. And it's crazy to see what the seeds that were sowed during the Cold War and what has happened from then till now, right? Like earlier, British invaded because they were afraid कि अरे Russians आने वाले. This is when British were ruling us, right? And they were afraid कि Russians नीचे आएगा और फिर इंडिया में घुसेगा, तो ये हम लोग पहले पहुंच जाते हैं. Obviously, दोनों का कुछ नहीं हुआ. Nobody could do it because Afghanistan in itself is split. Like, the concept of the country and nation of Afghanistan is not as strong, is because they are split into so many minor tribes, like the Tajiks or the Uzbeks or the Pashtuns, कि उन लोग कभी साथ में आए नहीं है, फिर भी नेवर बिन कॉन्कर्ड. तो एक तेरा सेंटर ऑफ पावर सिर्फ काबुल रहता है, उसके अराउंड ही सब कुछ हो रहा है, लेकिन बाकी पूरा pretty much independently चल रहा है. So during obviously the Cold War, when Russians were trying to spread communism everywhere, उन लोग घुसे अफगानिस्तान में. US in an effort to, you know, block the spread of communism, help.
They armed them. Yeah.
They armed them. Like, you know, one of the most defining changes was the Stinger missiles. Stinger missiles is basically ऊपर हेलीकॉप्टर जा रहे हैं तो सीधा मार, ट्रेल ऑफ स्मोक, डूम, सीधा टारगेट पकड़ के ये करेगा. So अफगानिस्तान में रशियंस वर देयर फॉर 8-9 years almost. कुछ नहीं हुआ, निकले. And it's crazy how this idea then was completely gummed by people such as Osama bin Laden to wage a war on the West, in spite of Americans being the ones who helped Russians, I'm saying, helped
The Taliban.
helped Afghanistan. Taliban wasn't there. Taliban was still in its small nascent stage
Infancy.
of forming.
Yeah.
They came in after the Soviets left, because इतने सारे ट्राइब्स है, सब झगड़ रहे, तो एक उसमें से भर के बाहर निकला, that was Taliban, who people were in support of earlier because they brought stability, but then they also brought with them like this crazy interpretation of how life and everything should be, which became a problem later.
Yeah,
Incredible
it
to
was- I
see.
mean, we've seen photographs and stuff like that. Even in Turning Point, there was that thing about how cool a country Afghanistan was in the 60s. No, like
Oh yeah.
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 Oh,
Those
but and it's the
photographs,
typical
yeah.
pictures you see in Iran also, right? When
Yeah,
when
yeah,
the
yeah.
Shah was
Pictures
still
from
there.
Iran, by the way, a lot of it.
A lot of it is
Yeah.
just like, just like
Pictures,
just
literally
making
they're-
it
yeah.
meme and
No,
putting
see
the
that
narrative.
the pictures you were talking about, na Baba, वो एक दो ही है जो अभी
Yeah,
float
yeah,
हो रहे हैं. They are not even from
those are
Afghanistan.
Iran. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are Iran. Are you can see that circle. It's that same circle which is there in Baghdad, which they sort of have. No.
Okay,
And-
so I want to tell you a couple of things about since we're on Afghanistan. Like, there's a couple of things that come to mind. The first one is a passage from Yuval Noah Harari's book,
Hmm.
where he talks about, like, he contextualizes what happened, like the whole 9/11 part of it, like contextualizes it very well, where he basically says the Taliban was like a fly that wanted to destroy a China shop.
Hmm.
Okay. How does a fly destroy a China shop? It can't. It just physically cannot. But if the fly goes into the ear of a
Yes.
bull,
Yeah.
the bull will destroy the China shop.
Hmm.
And that's all it has to do. It has to irritate the bull.
Hmm.
So, and that's exactly what they did. With pinpoint accuracy, they were able to get inside the ear of, metaphorically, America. And America then just went berserk and has caused so much of the Middle East ka destability.
True, because
that
see, the invariably एक और scene यही है that will always remain. अगर US किधर जा रहा है, yes, they have to sell the war at home, right, to its people, to Congress, to get permission and backing to go into the country. Natural reserves तो एक है, plus geopolitical stronghold, because तू देख आजू बाजू कौन है अफगानिस्तान के. The 6 bordering countries are Iran, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, China, and
Right in the
Pakistan. And Afghanistan is fully landlocked. Like, which is one of the main reasons why they've never been conquered, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
geographical fortification is insane. तेरा Hindu Kush mountain जो है, that's literally 60% of Afghanistan is just mountains.
Yeah, it's not
तो
easy.
you उससे better fortification देखो क्या मिलेगा. By the way, I recently found out Hindu Kush का मतलब पता है क्या है?
What-
Killer of Hindus.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Because whoever tried to invade from this side couldn't. So they would
Because of
eventually
the
die. Something like that.
fortification.
Yeah. मैं तो पहले बचपन में तो हिंदू खुश लगता था मुझे.
हाँ.
अरे हम लोग इतने खुश हैं अपने पास माउंटेन है वैसे, but it's
So,
apparently that. And
now,
बोल
second-
Kautuk.
second thing about this. So there's a book by William Dalrymple. It's called The Return of a King, The Battle of Afghanistan. And he basically talks about, like, from a historical perspective also, way before any of these modern day events happened, Afghanistan has always been a graveyard of Western ambition and Western failure. It's always just, they've tried to do it. No one's been able to. It's just too unforgiving. And eventually the perseverance of the people grinds any kind of oppressor down.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the last thing about this is I was seeing a video, okay, and it's on, of all the places, it's on Lad Bible TV. Okay, the video is Life as a Spy Inside Al Qaeda. Okay, where they've done it's a very beautiful 19-minute video. Okay, check it out if you haven't seen it. This guy is called Ayman Dian. Okay, he was a guy who uh, he fought for, like, he was a 19-year-old who had fought in the Kurdish wars. Okay, and when he fought there, he met people who were like, look, we have a separate startup going on called Al Qaeda. Would you like to join? And at the time he was like, yes, right? He joins the Al Qaeda, and at the time, like, so, and he talks about how the brainwashing happens, how the indoctrination happens, how all of this happens, right? He joins them, and he's fully for the project until they do an attack on the US embassy in Nairobi. Okay, they do this attack. Americans die, but along with the Americans, so do like just people in Kenya.
Yeah.
And when he saw that, he had a crisis of faith. And he said that, I couldn't believe that something I had been a part of led to the loss of lives of just innocent people. Right. So he questioned his superiors. He said, what is, why did this happen? And they said that, don't worry about it. This is the casualty that has to take place anytime you wage a war. Right. He couldn't live with it. And he decided to defect. And which is when he contacts, he goes to Europe. He tells the police what he's up to. They tell him, okay, what do you want to do from here? And he says, okay, I will give you information. Now, the crazy things he says about that, there were two things. One is that he says that Afghanistan is also a black hole of information, because at the time he was operating, telecommunication was not a thing. So it was extremely difficult to smuggle information out. So this guy had to retain everything in his memory. So he's memorizing every single thing that he's seeing. Plans, people, names, places, codes, everything, right? He's keeping it here. The second thing is that the Al Qaeda is paranoid. So they do random checks. You are authorized, any person is authorized to check whether the other person. Yes.
Yeah.
So he has this incredible story where he says, I was in the kitchen this one time. Okay. And he's preparing food, and he suddenly noticed on the corner of his eye that people have started leaving the kitchen one by one, quietly. Right. The next thing he knows is that he feels a gun at the back of his body, and they say, we know you're a spy. Okay. And he knew that this was a trick question. So he says, put the gun down. Don't be stupid. Okay. And basically, they were authorized to do these kind of checks. Okay. And if you failed them, and this was at random, so the guy had no information on him, but he just at random, they do this for all their cadres. So it's a crazy video. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. It's called Life as a Spy Inside Al Qaeda.
Yeah, and it's also crazy how, bro, like Al Qaeda to pehle aaya, Taliban came after that, right? And Taliban's obviously first thing was women's rights, education, everything straight up suppressed. And compared, because there's also a thing in Afghanistan called the Northern Alliance, right? Ahmad Shah Massoud used to be the guy who used to run it, and he was one of those who was able to galvanize a lot of the local tribes and bring them together as a front to the Taliban, and succeeded to a large extent. But guess what? Osama ne karaya. Suicide bombing karaya. Like few months before the attacks of 9/11 were planned, or like a year before, because he knew that ek bar attack kiya, I need a place to hide, and I need government or a group that is more sympathetic towards my cause. Ahmad Shah Massoud मेरे को नहीं help करेगा, तो अगर if I eliminate him, I get on good side of Taliban, and Taliban is anyway sweet towards me, तो मेरे को refuge मिलेगा. इतना आगे उन लोग ने plan किया था, bro. It's nuts. And in this documentary Turning Point wala, they've shown pictures. Like, you remember 9/11 जब हुआ, तुम लोग क्या कर रहे थे? I remember exactly the first time I saw the news of 9/11. I was 13 years old. I was with my mom. It was evening, 6-7 o'clock odd in the evening. My mom had just spoken to my chacha. Okay, because he used to be on ship or something. So उन लोग बात कर रहे थे. That time they were talking about this. और सामने BBC चल रहा है. I'll never forget. And those images of the planes coming and hitting, I'll never forget, bro. I mean,
Dude,
like,
I was down in the colony in the quadrangle. Kautuk, if you look down, you can see a
Oh.
21-year-old me. We were playing.
still, it'll be weird if Kautuk looks down or the Neville बैठ के chill कर रहे थे. Old monk पी रहा है
lot of
side.
Stranger Things. No. I was playing badminton and like mom called me up saying.
If you say that's true, Baba, we'll believe you. We don't. If you say 21-year-old you was playing badminton, fine, we believe.
But I can vouch for the veracity of one thing, which is that अभी तक पब्लिक बैडमिंटन ही खेल रहा है. बड़ा ही नहीं आगे उससे.
नहीं हमने बास्केटबॉल के रिंग्स लगाए थे उधर बट सब लंबे नहीं है be able to play it. So
वो बड़ी
plus
उधर
that-
पिजन बैठ के हकता है.
plus that channel that is there in the way, it really stops your flow as you come with the ball.
You can't have Jordan when you have drain pipe.
हम लोग के बिल्डिंग में बास्केटबॉल रिंग लगाया तो उसके नीचे जो नेट होता है ना, so the net was not the right size, so it fit the ring but नीचे से वो बहुत taper हो जाता. So the first basket that was scored was the last basket that was scored for a week because
अटक गया ऊपर बॉल
के अटक गया.
और पब्लिक नीचे से बैट फेंक रहे हैं.
हाँ, मारे पत्थर मार रहे हैं.
ब्रो हम लोग क्रिकेट खेलता था तो उधर इलेक्ट्रिक का बॉक्स है ना, कौतुक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बॉक्स, उसको स्टंप बनाना था और फटाक तोड़ता था ऑलमोस्ट.
अबे हम लोगों ने वॉचमैन के चेयर को स्टंप बनाया था. कितने बार वॉचमैन था चेयर में, ठीक है, लेकिन वो स्टंप है.
Like before wicket, किसका? Watchman का.
Watchman. But you should definitely check out this documentary, Turning Point.
It's also well researched, I thought.
Very well researched, well made. And the thing is, dude, like fucking Americans, right? They document everything because
Dude, everyone documents everything except us.
नहीं, लेकिन Apple TV पे भी एक ये है, it's a 9/11 documentary only. What they have focused on that is they followed George Bush.
Oh
From
yeah, I saw this.
That
one
morning
is
of
there.
this पूरा 3 घंटे का है कि क्या किया, because literally he was running all over. Like, look at the unprecedented nature of this.
Yeah.
18 guys have gotten
Forget
on
that,
a flight
dude.
in the US and they have literally, मतलब इससे बड़ा धक्का to US feeling of
it's
being
not just that,
strong.
I'm saying even the
कभी नहीं हुआ. It's
fact that
insane how they
know that-
managed to even pull it off.
You know that sentence, no? That they said that like when people told us about it, that a plane flew into the building. To us, we thought, "Arey, some guy."
They thought there was a drunk guy with a Cessna.
With a Cessna who must have
Yeah.
got a heart attack, or and therefore it's an unfortunate thing to have happened to. तो उन लोगों को लगा मतलब ऐसा एक Cessna जाके ऐसा plane building से ऐसा थोड़ा लटक रहा है ऐसा और फिर गिर जाएगा. That's what they really thought. Nobody could have imagined the scale of what
The
it
scale.
was.
Dude, I saw, I think किस पे था,
And dude,
BBC का
Varun,
कुछ नहीं
sorry,
दिख रहा
one
था.
sec. Just also like if you were in New York at that point, right? Like if you were there, and the two towering things that your city is known for,
That's your
just
main skyline. Yeah.
crumble in front
Skyline,
of you.
and he wanted to do this before Osama. There was another guy whose idea was that, hey,
Yeah.
listen, I want to attack the American symbol of power.
Yeah,
right,
तो वो
because
basement में bomb उड़ाया
Basement
ना.
में bomb डाला
फिर
था.
बोला भी वो.
हाँ.
फिर वो बोला भी, if I had more money, the building would have collapsed.
Would have fallen. He said, what do
In
you have to say about
interrogation.
this? He said, yeah, he literally said that अगर मेरे पास पैसा ज्यादा होता मैं करता. और of course ओसामा के पास तो कंस्ट्रक्शन बिजनेस का पैसा जो अमेरिकन ही दे रहे थे उसको. तू सोचना, तू वही पैसा लेके तू डाल के उधर ही जाके मार रहा है. I saw some article right now where Muhammad Atta, like I remember that name so clearly from because he was the lead hijacker or whatever, right? These guys, they have pictures from their ATM visit. और उसके बाद जाके उन लोग पिज्जा खाया है the night before 9/11.
Like there was, on Reddit, there's one photograph that came up, which was basically the last American troop to leave Afghanistan.
There's one guy running
photograph,
like that, no?
green.
Yeah, it's
Night
it's
vision
like night vision thing, and he's just like tired, and he's just boarding a plane. He looks like you would board Indigo. Just like
Yeah.
thakela ekdam.
No, but look at the sad part, bro. 20 years,
20 years, yeah.
$8 trillion.
Relentless fighting.
$8 trillion. और क्या हुआ है जो जिसको तुमने डेढ़ दिन में या डेढ़ हफ्ते में तालिबान को उन्होंने खत्म किया था. When they attacked in 2001, in a week and a half or a month and a half, I don't know which one is correct, they खत्म कर दिया, भाग गया था तालिबान.
Bro,
From
you know,
there,
is this-
20
is this-
years, these guys have been in the shadows, planning, planning. Their whole
Is this
thing was
verified
nation
that
building, right?
No,
Couldn't do it.
No Americans had died until this week ago. The airport bombing के पहले तक no real Americans had lost life.
Of course they had.
Of course, bro.
They had,
Last
na?
sin.
They have, there's something called the Haina Road and all. वो भी एक picture भी बना है उसके ऊपर, where
हाँ.
their thing was they're spending all of this money to make, as again, the sell was to the American people, nation building. Catching
But
Osama was one thing.
They didn't do the nation building, and that's the
पूरा
because
जो
again there
roads,
was
yeah,
again there was also like some people saying that no, we shouldn't be building things, we shouldn't build telecommunications because it's going to come and bite us only in the ass later. This that.
don't
and
make
the other.
roads, it'll become, because it's, their main thing was they have like 2 main ring roads that US has been building forever. And one of the problems would be that Taliban and associate people would come and bomb the place, attack the workers, kidnap people. So कुछ नहीं हुआ ना नेशन बिल्डिंग किया तुमने, जिसको तुम भगाने आए थे वो वापस आ गए और अभी तुम कट लिए हो 20 साल, इतना पैसा खर्चा, लॉस ऑफ लाइव्स. लाइक वी टॉक अबाउट 9/11 और कितना लोग मरे एंड हाउ बैड इट वाज. कभी भी सेम चीज जो ड्रोन अटैक से हुआ होगा उधर, you don't feel as
Yeah,
much because
Yeah.
because of the context of it. No, the way the context has been painted to you as well.
dude, the most pithy and the most incisive and like what a insanely good line that sums this whole thing up. It came from The Onion, where they said, "Can't believe terror won the war on terror."
yeah, that's
Oh.
fucking Onion, bro. मेरे को उनका दिमाग चाहिए to just think of it so funnily. They're too fucking good. They're too, in fact, like obviously sorry, I won't say it. There was a joke. See, because obviously after so many years of 9/11, US comedians do jokes on 9/11, right? And there was one joke, again, not trying to sound insensitive, but I heard this joke and I think it's such a weirdly funny joke. It's like one guy is asking the other guy, the comedian, that, hey, listen, where were you on 9/11? And he said, which year?
Oh.
That recontextualizes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on like just contextually where would you. Yep. The argument only has changed, no, like because it is technically literally the day the world changed in every way. Because
Everything, bro. Geopolitics has never been the same after that.
forget that. dude.
Human, civil rights, human rights. तू हर एक चीज बोल.
अरे dude,
पूरा
तू-
घूम गया है उसके बाद.
Bro, I'm just saying, look at it this way ना. फ्रेंड्स का एपिसोड जिसमें वो एयरपोर्ट पे छोड़ने जाते हैं उसको, जैनिस और वो सब के साथ, वो लिटरली गेट तक गया है और 2001 के बाद तू गेट तक नहीं जा सकता. आई एम सेइंग लाइक everything has.
In fact, talking about this, I think George Carlin, somebody told me about this recently, that George Carlin, a few months before that, had recorded his special where he talks about the futility of airport security.
Yep.
Few months before this, apparently he had done it, and then boom, because one of the things the hijackers used was small knives
Yeah.
that were allowed on planes.
Oh shit. Okay.
मेरा अभी नेल
Yeah.
कटर बैग में रह गया तो मेरे को बोला नहीं लेके जा सकते, इसको निकालो, नेल कटर.
नहीं,
और वो
मेरा
टाइम पे छोटा चाकू
I've
लेके गए
always
थे.
had problem with extra guitar strings because that is straight up like if like yeah that's
Garrett.
very serious weapon technically.
In fact, like
then-
even how it started with when, like obviously a lot of conspiracy theory documentaries है, but there's bits where they have gone and spoken about how that once the attack happened, 9/11 वाला, that Dick Cheney phone करके पूछ रहा है कि how do we pin this on इराक में कौन है, सद्दाम.
Yeah, Iraq. हाँ.
Even though there's irrefutable evidence कि the perpetrators of this are living in the mountains in Afghanistan, तोरा बोरा ये वो उसमें है, but इन लोगों को चाहिए था कि भाई narrative घुमाओ, WMD करो, because you see all of that happened in a span of 4 years. 2001, 9/11, 2004, US has already been in Afghanistan 3 years and they invaded Iraq. under guise of WMD. All of these things changed literally. और बुश के कान में जाके कैम्प डेविड पे बोला है पब्लिक ने उसको कि like इसको अपन ऐसे फिरा सकते हैं, ये ऐसे कर सकते हैं, और अभी जाके उन लोग पूरा मिडिल ईस्ट को डिस्टेबलाइज कर दिया ब्रो.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so finally, I want to talk to you about a fact that I found, and it's a very interesting fact. Did you know that the human body since 1868, when our normal temperature used to be 98.6, has reduced and it's gone down to 97.9. So we are getting cooler as a species.
We are getting cold.
We're getting so much
उसके
cooler.
बारे में तेरे को बात क्या करने का, लेकिन कि यही
No,
है.
I
तेरा
just
क्या
want to talk
temperature?
about like how the thing is, the whole article is based on how the entire physiology of human beings is changing to the point where
सब vegan बन रहा है.
हाँ, vegan तो बन रहा है because based on like we are not really used to lactose, so it's taken a lot of time for us to adjust to the milk. In fact, the last 5 to 10,000 years has been us adjusting to lactose, which was not supposed to be part of our diet. Apparently, in Africa, it took it's developed as early as 3,000 years ago. So this is again goes back to like sapiens and things like that. But this whole started coming up because of a new artery that has been discovered in your arm. which
New
will
artery?
disappear in the apparently human beings now have a new artery in our arm, which used to not be there.
You know why it's there, right?
Yeah.
It's for texting.
For extra blood
Yeah,
flow
because-
while your hands are up. It's like, अच्छा,
No, but
थोड़ा
how
हाथ
recent
लटकाना
is this
चाहिए.
artery? मतलब अपने
So
पास है कि बच्चे लोग अभी जो आएंगे उनके पास होगा कि क्या?
No. It's been discovered now. So I think it's our generation. So earlier it used to, based on whatever anthropological evidence, blah, 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 they figured out that now this current generation has that extra artery, which would normally disappear in the womb. It would be there just for the formation of the fetus, but now it's disappeared. It used to disappear, but now it's just there because, and these are likewise, there are other changes that are happening with regard to our thumbs and stuff like that. Like video games and texting is actually changing the way we do stuff. Like this will be an arthritis problem very soon.
It already is.
It already
Yeah.
is. So these are things that are already changing in a like significant way. Like you know for a fact that आगे जाके COVID will become as like simple as the common cold.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty
Yeah, that's why I read about how it's
The
becoming
fact that
more of
there
an
is no
endemic.
cold, and the fact that there is no cold, like the common cold has reduced considerably. ये बात किया था हम लोग.
क्या बोल रहे हैं? मेरे को अभी हुआ लास्ट वीक.
अरे तू कॉमन नहीं है ना, लेकिन
तो मेरे को नया आर्टरी भी और मेरे को कॉमन कोल्ड भी है.
and we have lighter bones.
we have lighter bones. So dinosaurs evolved into birds, and I think we might too. So
तू इधर
What?
dinosaurs
Aadar,
eventually
अगली
evolved
बार
How
पढ़ाई
have you
करके-
hypothesized this, Aadar?
Jurassic
Dinosaurs
Park.
evolved into birds.
Uh,
तू भी होगा.
Jurassic Park. So as the bones get lighter, and we might end up having hollow bones like birds.
सब उड़ने लग
Aadar,
जाएंगे.
We're getting closer to flight. We're getting
अदर तू
closer
गलत
to.
शो पे है. This is not why are we fighting.
No, but he's right. He's right. The article says that
So a study conducted in 2015 by anthropologist Abiba Chirchir, which is very dependable source material right now. We are not making these names
तू
up.
क्या लैड बाइबल पे पढ़ रही है? Yo,
Indian
all
Times.
my bros now have a new artery. Your new artery.
why does bell bottoms have an artery?
You know the thing is, I don't know how it just becomes a part of it. सब लोग लग रहा है अभी कि भाई is out. Salmon has been replaced by खिलाड़ी कुमार.
Khiladi Kumar.
अकेला है Mr.
I have
खिलाड़ी.
500 arteries in my finger,
That's why
and
I'm
now
the
bone
Khiladi.
is lighter, so I am also a bird.
You have no artery. The problem is you have no blood flow to your brain. That's the problem.
Too many arteries in your finger.
None in
I
your
can do
brain.
more with the fingers than you can do with your brain.
वरुण, I think you should end this topic. आदर पढ़ाई करके नया है, कुछ भी फैक्ट पढ़ रहा है,
आदर आके
आर्टिकल
random-
पढ़ रहा है, कुछ भी रैंडम इंटरेस्टिंग शॉकिंग वर्ड ऑब्जर्व कर रहा
But
है.
you know the crazy thing is I can vouch for it. They're all here.
They're all facts here.
Yes, but they're
a scientist
facts.
from
That's not the
Gujarat,
point.
Published a paper about black holes, and he's decided to title the paper Naked Singularities.
How do you go to black hole from arteries?
This is what I say. Aadar, you not understood the format.
Hollow bones. If it's hollow bones, and that's where the black holes come in.
Alright, that's it for this episode of the Internet Set. So, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys again next week, and hopefully Aadar will know what the format is by then and come with a story, a fact, or something else that he's seen, which doesn't involve us turning into birds.
Or just
We'll turn into
reading
birds, and
articles.
honestly, like, why wouldn't you want wings and fly?
Fuck, then Thakur will become the thing he hates the most.
Yeah.
A pigeon.
अबे, if I could become a bird, मैं थोड़ी सब छोड़ के pigeon बोलूंगा.
अबे तेरे को choice नहीं है. Evolution doesn't ask for your permission.
देख, ऐसा है, evolution को कान के नीचे दूंगा एक, जिसे मैं बन रहा है bird, तो मैं eagle है, ठीक है?
अच्छा.
या
Thakur
falcon.
तो
अरे
pigeon-
Varun,
pigeon
you
बनने
will
वाला
not
है.
be an eagle or human beings will be a new bird species. They won't take on a
Birdman.
bird species.
कौवे नहीं बनेंगे अपन. और कौवे नहीं
Baba,
चाहिए.
no matter what we become, Thakur अपने ही बालकनी पे जाके हगेगा. देख,
Yeah.
guarantee.
और
के ले ले.
और उधर भी ना वरुण एक नेस्ट बिल्ड करेगा, ठीक है, और उधर भी आके पिजन
मुझे नेस्ट की बात करें, नेस्ट दिखाऊं. स्पैरो ने नेस्ट बना लिया मेरे बोगनविला में यार, साले जाते ही नहीं है. मैंने नेट लगाया ताकि पिजन नहीं आए, बिकॉज वो छोटा है होल, ठीक है, नेट का होल छोटा है तो पिजन नहीं आ सकता. लेकिन चूंकि स्पैरो के बारे में सोचा ही नहीं किसी ने, तो अभी स्पैरो आ गए.
but they use the छोटू
I've
ones.
never
yeah.
had this problem in Dombivli. I don't know why this.
No,
only
one
happens
sec.
in
I'm
front
saying
of
this
Thakur.
sparrow
Because you all
nest is
kill the
only a
sparrows
Thakur
for
problem.
food there. इधर नहीं कर सकते हम ये सब.
एक तो ये sparrows have returned to Bombay is a problem. They weren't there
तू
for
किधर
so
गए
long.
थे?
अरे नहीं थे
सिर्फ
ना.
तेरे बिल्डिंग में नहीं आ रहे, तेरे घर पे
No,
नहीं, तो
no.
स्पैरो नहीं चले गए.
अरे you didn't read the story or what? After
Nature was
Sorry, I don't
lockdown,
read the Sparrow Times. क्या बोला उस पे?
Yeah.
Sparrow time.
क्या बोला Sparrow ने?
Oh,
Rose
that's
to
surprising.
logo.
That's pretty good.
That's
So
a
we
good
started
Sparrow.
with animals.
देख,
and
मेरे
then
नेट
starting with
मेरे
animals
नेट
and
में अभी
ending
दिख
with
रहा है,
animals.
मुझे मूवमेंट हो रहा है. बाबा तूने ये साउंड किया तो.
Thakur, एक कैमरा छोड़ अपने उधर and see if the sparrow takes a selfie.
Look.
Because that will be just perfect. You can sell the selfie.
अब फिर मैं क्या सू,
Make-
फिर पीटा
and
आके
maybe
मेरे को
write
भी
a
सू
book.
करेगा. पीटा आके. एक्चुअली तेरा नहीं, वो स्पैरो का है. हट, स्पैरो मेरे घर पे था, मैंने इंक्यूबेट किया है स्पैरो
नहीं,
को.
अभी घर भी स्पैरो का है. चल निकल यहाँ से, निकल.
हाँ.
Sparrow is a
Bureau
tenant. Sparrow's been living
Now
there for 8
everyone
years.
has now everyone
Ding
has
dong,
understood.
वरुण है घर पे. क्या सर, आप क्या बोल रहे हैं?
Started with.
नहीं, वरुण का है, वरुण.
It's not that. It's
अभी तू क्या तू कुछ अलग ही इवॉल्व हो गया अभी बाबा. तू स्पैरो और
but this is what I want to say. This is why we never start a podcast on time, because now we would say चले शुरू करें guys.
Yeah.
1:45 बजे रात के, as you can see.
नहीं, but
Okay,
seriously,
before we
should
digress
begin.
into
We
more
should begin.
Sparrow, we should begin. Sparrow talks. That's it from this episode, guys. Let us know if you have come across anything random, interesting, funny, weird, absurd on the internet. Share links with us, and if we find it interesting, we could talk about it. And maybe Aadar has something else to come with next time then.
Yeah.
Good night. Take care. Bye bye. Shaba khair. Salamesh. One second, the recording is still
Black-
on.
I
Black
don't
hole,
know.
black hole.
Oh, black hole. Okay, okay. हाँ,
ये record कर रहे थे. I thought we were just having fun today.
चूते है क्या? हाँ,
I
चल.
thought we were testing the format with me.
Yeah, it doesn't work with you.